the numbers kind of speak for themselves, with 40% of Montgomery County being at risk of hunger. And what that means is that people are just not quite sure where their next meal is going to come from. That's what it means to be at risk of hunger.
It was back in 2008 when the market crashed. In Beaver Creek, there wasn't anything like a food pantry. And so we went through great lengths to create an atmosphere that people would be familiar with, like a doctor's office where they could come in and receive food. And people who never had a need to go to any type of pantry or anything finally found themselves in that need. And so we felt it was really important to bring a pantry to this area where people could come in comfortably and receive food.
Well, every week on Tuesday, Tommy and a couple of other volunteers will go down to the food bank, and actually they'll place the order and load the food up on skids, bring it back here to our warehouse area, unload it, and then we have a team that comes in on Wednesday morning and sets up based on however many bags that we're going to bag. Usually we do 100 to 200 per week, just kind of depends.
On Wednesday nights, we bag the food, and we bag anywhere between 96 and 208 bags, put them on pallets, and it takes approximately 45 minutes to bag 208 bags, and we can bag 96 bags in about 15 minutes.
You know, it's just a lot of people doing a little bit. You know, an hour here, hour there. When you have, you know, many hands make for light work. I think it probably encapsulates what I'm trying to say.
The biggest ways that the food pantry serves the community is it offers that gap between what government assistance gives in the SNAP program and a short, intermittent supply of food to help shorten that gap from the 80% of what SNAP gives to when they can get their next check or their next SNAP. So we're just kind of a gap filler in there. We're not a monthly grocery supply. We're a few day supply, but that's kind of how we help service the community.
About 11 years ago, a young woman who had grown up in poverty saw the need in Dayton. There's Dayton, big parts of Dayton are a food desert. She had grown up hungry, and she decided she wanted to do something to make a difference in the city. And at that point, we had our Dayton campus in Riverdale on Main Street, and she messaged me and said, "Hey, I know you guys have this building on Main Street, and I have this pantry, and I need a base of operations." And I went, "Sure, here's a key." And so she started this, the Hope Foundation, out of our Dayton campus. And about 6 months into it, you know, I would check in with her occasionally, but she messaged me and she said, "Hey, I'm getting in trouble at work. I'm spending way too much time doing this. I think I need to just hand this off to you." And I went, "Oh, I know a lot of people. You know, why don't you put me on your board? I'll help. I'm happy to help." And she said, No, I think you should just take it." So basically, with a swipe of a pen, I was appointed executive director and was handed this nonprofit. I like to say she built the rocket but couldn't fly it. So I've been flying the rocket for 11 years now, with obviously a lot of help. The first Saturday of the month we go to Fairborn, and the third Saturday of the month we go to Huber Heights. We also resource a pantry in Northridge and one in Cedarville. And then we have a Monday through Friday pantry that currently, because of COVID, we just have it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 12. It would be easy to sort of boil it down to give people groceries, right? But that's sort of the obvious thing. Well, you need food, you come and we give you food. But we're not a grocery store. That's not our mission. Our mission, I would say it this way, is to restore people's dignity. You know, when the recession hit, I had a couple of friends, one in particular I was just thinking of, that had a 6-figure income, and he was laid off, and he ended up coming in, and I remember him being sort of embarrassed about coming in and getting a bag of groceries from the pantry at the church that he attended, right? And he was just embarrassed by that. And our job is to is to restore people's dignity. You know, the fact that people show up in Fairborn and they're picking up groceries, getting groceries off the back of a truck in a parking lot could be humiliating. So we try and make the process. I always thank people for coming. Hey, thanks for coming. We've got all this food. I'm so glad you're here. It's not like, well, you know, we look down on people, poor people coming in. No, our job is I want them to feel good. I want them to look at us and be excited about coming to get food from us, not like they're, you know, like Oliver Twist, please sir, may I have some more, like having to beg. We're happy to help people. It really is to restore people's dignity.
The biggest impact I've seen is just the lives touched, the testimonies of prayer, even down to our volunteers. We've had volunteers who haven't been comfortable praying out loud, but as they've come and served in the pantry, been around prayer, been around the testimonies, they've become more and more comfortable with even the short just Jesus come prayers, and they've seen impact from that. A lot of our people come, we get to know them on a first name basis. We get to really just become friends with them. And so, you know, I mean, the impact is wide through the community and through our volunteers.
I would really like to see people look at people differently. It's easy to sort of size people up, chew them up and spit them out, cast them aside because they're poor. And that really grates on me. It's easy to, if somebody pulls up in a nice car and you think, well, what are they doing? They have a nice car, they don't need to be here. Well, we don't know anything about their situation. You know, our job is not to judge people, our job is to love people, our job is to help. If people just wouldn't look down on people, you know, the person standing off the exit ramp holding the cardboard sign will work for food. We don't know anything about their story, how they ended up there, and it's easy to size them up, chew them up, spit them out like they're lazy. We don't know. So getting people to look at the people around them differently, people who are in need. I can't fix everything, but I can do something, right? And so that's really my mission, is to help people see the bigger picture, more than just here's a bag of groceries, be warm and be filled. Yeah, if people just would give people a break and not make assumptions and not prejudge them not knowing their story, I think that would be awesome.